Farm Diggity here with Ricky Hutchinson, no other, supreme winner. Tell us about your win in 2017. You won with 2 dogs, or reserve.
Yeah, I won with Jock, and I was reserved with his father, Sweet. Luckily. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
How? I bet. It's has that been done ever before? Or?
Oh yeah, it's been done before. Yeah. Not for a while.
How many years ago? Do you
50.
think? Oh.
1967, Thompson McKnight. He was first.
50.
Yeah, he was first with Dot and second with. First with Gale and second with Dot.
So it hasn't been done in 50 years.
No.
Amazing. How long did you? When did you start running dogs?
Well, I've always had dogs around me ever since I was young. My dad's been into dogs all the time, and his uncle was very good. Harry Huddleston, he was national champion in Reserve Supreme in '72. We don't call Udale Sim. And then my dad's brother, he also ran in the Supreme. And my dad, when he was young, ran in a few trials, but I don't think the actual trialing side really appealed to him. But training dogs has always been a passion of his, and breeding dogs as well. So he's always had a knowledge of what's, what dogs are around and how they're bred and things like that.
Were you good right from the get-go? Were you good?
Oh, no.
They might not be able to hear you at home because, of course, we're using my phone, so you yell at them.
Okay. No, I was awful. Yeah, no. When I first, when I was 6 and 7, things like that, I used to think I could work a dog. I don't think so. I was just, but I used to love dogs. I used to love trialing. Even when I was really young, I used to read my dad's old magazines on trialing things and read about the old great dogs like Bosworth Coon and McTeer's Ben and McKnight's Gale and Dot, like I talked about then. And Jane Wilson, I used to know about it all.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I got to 13, I couldn't read or write, and I wet the bed. But I could have told you the top 15 at the 1971 International. But I was a bit of a geek, you know what I mean? So, but no, I was just always really into it, and even when during the summer months when we were on holiday, school holidays, I used to milk cows then, so my dad wouldn't come in for tea till sort of 7ish. And it would get to, we'd have finished tea, and it was like a little treat for me to go, Dad, can we take a dog out? And he'd be like, oh. And he'd have to go and take a dog out, and it was just a little treat. I just used to love watching him. I didn't take him out, but my dad just took him out, and I used to watch him train him. So yeah, I learned how not to do it then, and then ever since. So. But yeah, I was always into it, and then when I first started actually running dogs in my teens, I was rubbish. Yeah,
rubbish?
Yeah, terrible.
Are you kidding?
No, it was really bad. Yeah. I ran him for a couple of seasons probably. I was about 15 or 16 and I had a dog called Rob who was by Paul Turnbull's nap, and memory serves me right, he was quite a slack sort of plainish dog, and he didn't have a lot of balance and I didn't have a lot of knowledge, and we put on some great shows of how not to do it. So
what changed?
I got a good dog, a little bitch called Peg that was by David Brady's Craig. Mark France, a neighbour to mine, who's always been into dogs as well. He used to run dogs quite a lot, and he was very good when he was young. He's given up running now, but anyway, he still breeds dogs. And he took a bitch up to David Brady's Craig, and he gave me one of those, I think I bought it, whatever. Gave me one of those, she was called Peg, and then I started running there for them. I'd left school as well, so I was working with sheep every day, and that's when I got a bit better. Yeah.
Speaking of being good or not good with sheep, some people you see, they can do this sport, and others struggle. Why do you think people struggle?
I think reading the sheep is the big reason you do well at trials. If you can read what they're going to do and anticipate and be proactive rather than reactive, that's where the difference between losing maybe 2 points on a wiggle on the fetch and not losing any because you've seen they're going to go that way, rather than, that makes a big difference. Especially when you're judging, you can see, you sort of go and give it a left, but then they give it a left, and just little things like that. And I think you've got to have, good handlers. The dogs totally respect them. I think you've got some people command the respect over the dogs. I don't mean a fear. I mean just a genuine respect, whereby they do as they're told. Not like robots, but they do as they're told. When you really require something, they'll do it. And I think some people maybe don't just have that absolute control and that sort of relationship with the dog. And I mean respect in a good way, because if you get a dog that respects you properly, then you you can give it responsibility quite a lot as well, and let them work it out for themselves sometimes, but knowing that you can change their mind if they're wrong a little bit. And I think they're the two reasons.
You said to me earlier about people say something but they don't really mean it. Can you?
Yeah, I go out and do a few clinics, and sometimes people say, "Oh, I can't stop my dog," and you know that the dog knows they don't mean it, you know, and they can sort of say something they know they don't mean it in a way, and you can hear it in someone's voice quite regularly.
Right.
It's like, "Lie down," you know, and they know it's not going to happen, and the dog knows it's not going to happen, and sure enough it doesn't. So I think you've got to mean it when you do say stuff, especially in a young dog, to get that real discipline on them.
Yeah, excellent. And so reading sheep and being consistent, follow through, and meaning what you say will help us around a trial.
I think so. Yeah.
You have a subject that's kind of dear to your heart in regards to sheep. Can you tell us about your feelings with sheep? And you said to me that you're a sheep man first.
Yeah. I mean, the idea of this sport was originated to make the shepherd's dog better. You know, to make the farmer's dog and the shepherd's dog better for doing the daily work. And that always comes down to looking after the sheep. You know, the shepherd and the farmer had to look after the sheep, and they wanted a dog that would help them look after. It's not about having sheep there to train your dog on and to abuse and to.
Right.
The sheep are there to be looked after, and it's the same in the trial. You know, we want to be careful that we remember that that's what it's for. It's about, you know, these sheep we've been run on here, they have someone's livelihood.
Right.
You know, and we should remember that.
And souls as well.
And what?
And the sheep are living creatures.
Yeah, oh totally, yeah. You know,
Yeah.
they're not you know, we it's a great sport we do, but we've got to remember that, you know, if you abuse them and you're rough with them and you just don't, and you forget about them, well, you're not going to be a better handler anyway.
Right.
Because you're not going to read your sheep if you don't care for them.
Yeah. Right.
You know, and you've got to have that bit of empathy with them, that, you know, you don't want to put them into stress. You've got to just trot them around so they're happy, you know. And if a sheep trots around the course in a happy sort of way, you know, and comfortable, you tend to have a decent run.
What do you look for in a dog? What do you like?
Probably like most people, really. You know, you want a dog that's I personally like a stylish dog. You know, a dog that looks smart. You know, I think that when you go to the post, one of you's got to look good, and it ain't me. So a dog that holds itself well, you know, looks the biz. I just think, it's just what I like to run. But also, I think if you run a dog that looks smart doing it,
Yeah.
the man who runs the dog that's a bit of a plain lollopy
Yeah.
thing tends to be like a couple of points behind the dog that looks
Yeah.
better, even if they've had the same run. But also, when I've sort of finished training my dogs, when they get to, you know, end of nursery season and maybe into the opens, I don't really train them. You know, I work them all the time, but I don't really go out and drill them and train them. And I think the dog that's just got that little bit of eye and feel will know when to back off on 3 or 4 sheep on the weekend, but will also know when to, you know, be a bit more proactive on a big bunch. But I like a dog that's got a good follow and a good feel and balance. I'm not one for huge flanks and flying around. You know, I want a dog that holds the line and then keeps the line himself.
Yeah.
With you just giving the little variations as to keeping them on line. And I like a good nature. I like, you know, my dogs, especially when they, you know, got to open level, they're my friends. You know what I mean? Because I'm short on them. So. You know, I want to spend, you know, I spend a lot of time with them during the day, especially lambing time. I'm with them all day long, you know. And if it's a sort of dog that, you know, you have to get out all the time, you don't like, it makes it hard work. I like a dog that's got a nice nature, and I like to actually get on with them quite well, you know, crack a few jokes, you know, a few beers, you know what I mean. You should have hit one sweep, told me about 2 dwarfs. It's so hilarious. But you know, it's just, you know, just generally, I like a dog that's nice to be around as well.
You just retired him?
Yeah, he's retired from the. Well, I think he is anyway. He's retired from the bigger ones. Yeah, I run him occasionally just to remind myself what a good dog is.
Does that break your heart?
Oh, absolutely not. No, he's won just about everything I could win with him. He's been amazing for me. He's bred well, and I think to be able to go out the way he did at the international last year was a great. Not many dogs that have been really good can go out on such a high. And I was toying with the idea of keeping him keeping him out this summer at the Nationals and that. It helped that I got my young bitch that's going really well. But I think even if I hadn't had her, I don't think I'd have run him, because it's a bit like the footballer or the cricketer, or not that Americans know what cricket is, but the footballer or whatever sort of sportsman goes out that extra season and isn't the same player and looks faded. Well, I would never want to do that to him, because he's been pretty amazing for me, really. You know, when I think about what he's won for me, not only that, he's at home. He's like my right hand. You know, he's a true pal, and he knows what I'm thinking all the time. And so to be able to say sign him off at a big one like he did, it was just a great way to finish it. So.
Well, it was amazing. We watched it, and it was a tearjerker. And
oh yeah,
you have a new one coming, and you did well just right before you came over to judge this.
Yeah.
So you obviously have a gift, and we appreciate you. And thank you for taking the time.
Oh, you're more than
with
welcome.
Farm Diggity. It's a good life.
Yo diggity.